What's going on, everybody? C4 here. Welcome to more C4, and this is our first post-game reactions and player grades from the Eagles' Week 1 victory, 38-35 over the Detroit Lions. If you told me going into this, you didn't tell me what Philly got. You said Detroit got 35. I'd be a lot more irate than I am right now. I just generally, and I hope this is kind of what you guys are watching feel as well. It's just weird. It's like a feeling you haven't felt since like middle school. It's weird. I'm pretty sure it's a good feeling, but I'm not 100% sure. 38-35. I still don't really know how to properly process this. I think I'm just at the fact where it's like it was a weird game, and we got a victory. We got a victory, and if this team wasn't good, this would be a game that you find a way to lose. We found a way to win. So it's on to Minnesota. I'm very worried about what Justin Jefferson and company can do next week, but that's for another video. Let's focus here on Week 1. And not to brag, but if you guys checked out my Eagles versus Lions preview, I kind of broke down 5 things that I thought were going to happen in this game. A lot of that played out as I don't even want to say guessed, but as I previewed. I said for the Philadelphia Eagles, if things aren't going with the pass game, just who cares if you got to revert back to last year's offense? Run the football. We had 216 yards rushing, 4 rushing touchdowns. We did that. I said if the Detroit Lions were going to have any chance, it was going to be on the back of DeAndre Swift. He did that. 144 yards for DeAndre Swift. The touchdown had 31 yards through the air, 10 yards, pretty much first down every time he touched the ball on the pass. And I am full disclosure, a DeAndre Swift fantasy football owner. I got him. He was one of my top running back targets, and he crushed it. And I watched this whole game, and I would say that if I'm a Detroit Lion fan falling out from this, give him more touches. Like, I could not believe they were not feeding DeAndre Swift more than what they were. 37th throwing attempts by Jared Goff is not the way to win. DeAndre Swift should be getting 25 carries a game. And there's room for that. You shave off, Jared Goff, get him throwing 25 to 30. DeAndre Swift should be getting 25 carries, and then you get Jamal Williams here with 10. I thought it was actually some kind of frightening. Jamal Williams' role is going to be the touchdown vulture. He's going to be the short yardage guy. Comes with the territory. But they were giving Jamal Williams some early down work, and I think if they were switching it up, and they just gave and trusted DeAndre Swift a little bit more, and hey, enjoy, baby. Enjoy that. That is the Deuce Staley running back rotation that we have gone through years here in Philadelphia, that sometimes he gets it right, other times he absolutely doesn't, and it's unbelievably frustrating. And I think that's what we saw here on the Detroit Lions side of things. DeAndre Swift needed 5-10 more carries in this game. He did not get them. If he did get those, I think we could be talking about a different result. And on my tone, my mood is absolutely different. But I did say that Philly's defense matched up fairly well against the Detroit Lions offense. And it's just weird. No one went off for Detroit as far as the secondary. I was Slay matches up nice. Bradbury had a pick 6. The defense is where things get weird. We'll say that for the end, because the defense is where I don't know what's going on. But let's get to the player grades. My preview came up pretty well. I'm happy. I don't look like an absolute idiot trying to start the second channel, and my first preview for the Eagles game was completely wrong. I was generally right. And let's look at the thing, though. So Jalen Hurts went 18 of 32, 243 yards, got sacked once. He also carried the ball 17 times for 90 yards and a touchdown. I think there wasn't really any bad throws from, truth be told, started out 0 for 5 on the first drive, and it was a mix of bad throws. It was a mix of not the wide receivers kind of let him down a little bit. But I would say, generally, if you're going stock up, stock down on Jalen Hurts, I'm going stock up. It's a light one because we still didn't see the evolution. It was more so we saw maybe a little more confidence, and I think that plays with A.J. Brown. But, you weren't seeing different throws out of Jalen Hurts. You weren't seeing any more zip on the balls. You weren't seeing, too much progress, I guess, to his game. But this was the Jalen Hurts we saw last year, and it's good enough to win with. He's got to be a game manager. I think that, you told me a game manager, 243, 90 yards. You tell me you get 300 yards, no turnovers. Let's see what the rest of the team can do. I think that's good enough to ride. But, I don't want to be too negative. I'm going to give Jalen Hurts today, I'll give him B+. B+ trending towards an A-. The only reason why he gets a B+ is, again, there were still A little too much scrambling, a little too much bailing from the pocket. But this is just viewing Jalen Hurts and grading him on this game on the fact of, are you a franchise quarterback? He gets a B plus because of that. Still didn't see that. Overall, for his sport, I mean, some of those scrambles were great. Some of those scrambles were the play got broken down, and where almost every other quarterback in the NFL minus 5 or 6 would get sacked in a drive. He'd scramble and get the first down and move the chains. There were some really good runs from Jalen Hurts in this game, but again, this is the year that if you're grading Jalen Hurts, not just you're grading the quarterback of the Eagles, you're grading Jalen Hurts is to easier quarterback of the future. Still didn't see a whole lot as a thrower. But there was still some good things. Absolutely. B plus for Jalen Hurts. And I think he had a good first game. Running the ball, Miles Sanders, 96 yards and a touchdown. He looked good. Kenny Gainwell got a tutty. Boston Scott got involved. I mean, just the Eagles dominate the line of scrimmage on the offensive side of the ball. I thought Aiden Hutchinson had a couple pop plays here there, but generally speaking, the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line was just at ease, at will. When we needed to run the ball, we got it. When we had to kill the game off by getting a couple first downs on the ground, we got it. So I'm going to give the running backs here an A. Wide receivers now. The good is, I mean, Goddard, that's kind of stat line you get from him. A.J. Brown was incredible. 10 catches, 155 yards. He had that 54-yard reception that just, what a monster, dude. Just shrugging dudes off him. A couple good balls there from Jalen. You definitely see the trust between these two, which is good. I think what I kind of said in the preview was, if Jalen Hurts can't himself elevate his game, take his game to the next level because he is close to his ceiling, at least bringing in guys like A.J. Brown can help elevate Jalen Hurts within itself. And I think we saw that. I think we saw a couple plays that Jalen, if it was anybody else, if it was a Zach Pascal, or if it was, I don't want to throw him under the way, but if it was like a Devontae Smith perhaps, maybe it wouldn't have been as big of a game. But A.J. Brown is an absolute monster. What a debut. 10 catches, 150. He gets A+++. Outstanding. Now, it definitely does suck seeing Devontae Smith get 0 catches. Definitely does suck seeing Quez Watkins not get involved. Again, it's what makes it such a weird game. And I noticed this across the NFL today. You play fantasy football, you're going to see this as well. It just felt like wide receiver ones got force-fed this week. Like, no room for anyone else to get touches. Devontae Adams with the Raiders. Justin Jefferson with the Vikings. Jamar Chase with the Bengals. Hopefully Mike Evans. I don't know. But it seemed like across the league, wasn't just Philly. If you had a clear wide receiver one, they just got absolutely fed here this week. And it wasn't just an Eagles issue. And maybe that'll bode well for Minnesota. Maybe Minnesota's going to be like, let's double team A.J. Brown. And things are going to go for Devontae and Quez next week on Monday night. But, that sucks. That's the only thing that I'd say prevents this wide receiver room getting an A+. A.J. Brown can't carry them all to an A+. You would have liked to see a little bit more diversification, but it got the job done. So I'm going to give the wide receiver room as a whole an A, but what a debut from A.J. Brown. You don't want to overhype one performance, but do we got the best wide receiver we've had since Terrell Owens? Perhaps. And then you throw in the fact that Devontae Smith is immensely talented and very underrated. It could be a special room here this season. Going to the defense. Now, this is where I don't know. Here's my thought. Here's my feeling. It felt like the defense in the first half played very well. It felt like in the second half, we played like a preseason defense. It felt like it was one of those games where regardless of the score, we were up. And it did feel like we were comfortably up, but even though it wasn't like a blowout, it just felt like we played in the second half, especially late in the second half, third quarter, fourth quarter, like a super vanilla defense. And that has been an issue of Jonathan Gannon in years past. But it straight just felt like we took the foot off the brake. It wasn't like there was particularly bad performance. I mean, Slay did get absolutely owned. I think it was a DJ Chark touchdown. Was that he who got it? Yeah, it was Chark. You would hope that Slay could make that play. But really, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson had a bad penalty there. But, I mean, he felt solid. Kaiser White with a ridiculous diving pass breakup that turned into a James Bradbury pick six. I thought, Jordan Davis had a couple good run plays. Fletcher Cox got a sack, blew up a play. I thought Hargrave was, okay. I just didn't feel like for a game where you give up 35 against the Lions, that's where you could circle A, B, and C. These guys were absolutely terrible. What are we doing here? It just felt like we took our foot out the gas and gave them soft coverage. And it's just weird. That's all I could say. I don't Epps had a couple big plays, honestly, a couple big hits. I thought Edwards actually, if I had to say one guy that wasn't the best, I thought TJ Edwards got picked on a little bit over the middle of the field, but I mean, that's not his strength. He's not particularly great in coverage athletically. It's more of instincts and IQ can kind of put him in the right position, but if you do try to make it like he has to run with guys, he is going to struggle. But like, I still don't feel like Philly's defense, giving up 35 against Detroit, played particularly bad. I thought we had some good moments. And maybe some of that is credit to the Lions. Lions are underrated. DeAndre Swift, very good. St. Brown, solid. DJ Chark, height, weight, speed. Hawkinson is talent-wise definitely a top 10 tight end. Probably closer to 5 than he is to 10. But, grading them, you can't give anything super, like C plus. I'd give them C plus and Gannon a D if I had to grade the defense here, because you can't give up 35 to Detroit. You give up 35 to Detroit. We're terrified about what Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson can do to this team next week. So if I had to give out game ball, if I would take the game ball from give one on offense, one on defense, I'd give it just to Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown on the offense. Both game balls are going there. Very good, very promising. What a debut from A.J. Brown. Like that's. In closing, to close this out, I've said for the last couple of years, even dating back to like the Super Bowl team, we thought maybe once was, but we'll say from 2018, the end of 2018 till now, even though the Eagles have been kind of always like a playoff caliber team, maybe some of that is due to like the weakness of the NFC East, if you will, but generally Philly's been in and around the playoffs. But the issue is we've had no star talent. Like there has not been for the last couple of years like that one superstar on the Eagles, that one guy that's a needle mover. We've kind of just been a collective team where our star players are like the unsexy positions, our offensive line, our defensive line, and it just feels like we might have a superstar on our hands at A.J. Brown. And that's exciting. That's a change of pace for the Philadelphia Eagles, and what a debut for A.J. Brown. And I feel good, man. 1-0 for the Philadelphia Eagles. Would love to hear what you guys think in the comment section below about this results. Who's getting the game ball? Maybe how about this one? Who's getting the game ball that's not A.J. Brown for you? And if you said for me, I'm going to go with Jalen Hurts, man. The 90 yards, even though we didn't see the evolution of a passer that we were hoping we were seeing, I think he had a solid game with his arm. There was no bad throws, which I think is a positive for him. And while you see 17 rushes, 90 yards, and a touchdown, you're like, oh, classic Jalen was just tucking and running versus trying to throw the ball. I thought a lot of those runs were really positive runs on broken plays. And we got a victory against a Detroit Lions team that's pretty underrated. So let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section below. We'll be back with a preview for the Minnesota Vikings game a little bit later in the week. Thank you guys very much for checking out the channel. If it is your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Sure, these videos might be a little bit more entertaining when Philly loses, but hopefully they don't lose. We're on the pace to go 16 more wins in a row. But thank you guys very much for watching. Subscribe, like, all that YouTube stuff. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace out, and fuck Dallas.